Bobby, are you now feeling a lot more confident that Kings Clan are going to move forward in this one, because they are obviously 2-1 up?
To be honest, I don't feel confident in anyone at this point. I feel like anybody could win, because we saw Hammers go head-to-head with COD Esports, and that was a 5-game series. We also saw Hammers get 3-0'd by Singularity, who lost to Kings Clan, who lost to COD Esports. So at this point, I think it's really anybody's game. The momentum is definitely in the favor of Kings Clan, and seeing them perform that well on domination, especially with the kill disparity, was a really good sign for them after they struggled a good bit in the first game of Hardpoint as well. So I'd say there's a good chance that they can close it out right here, but definitely don't sleep on Singularity. They went 3-0 against Hammers this morning, and they can absolutely bounce back here as well.
All right, well, let's find out whether or not it will be the end here on map number 4, or if we're going to map number 5, Team Singularity versus Kings Clan. Over to our casters, Ton and Bobby.
Thank you very much, Brycey. Well, here we go. These two played this map yesterday, and it was ever so close, wasn't it? It was so close. On Crash, it came down to a 2-point game. It's been close all series long. Been very hard to split these two. Bobby, which way are you leaning?
Based off what I'm seeing off start, Kings Clan seems to be really well established, not only getting time on the hill, but they've got players set up in 3-story off the start as well. This is absolutely where they would like to be. Slayer does get a kill onto the hard point, but Angel hopping on immediately after, and Kings Clan continuing to tick upward with Inferno with position in the top of that 3-story. They're in a really good place to start. He picks up the long range shot onto Ice Block as well. That position will also allow you to lay down shots onto that first hard point as well. With the UAV online already picking up another kill, Inferno with 5 already, and they have 4 players inside that second hard point. Should be pretty easy for them to push down and take control of the next hard point as well.
It's the ultimate sort of trump card on this map, isn't it? Third story, it can really help you with the rotation over towards second hill, towards the third hill as well. We make a movement towards blue in 56 seconds or so. But Kings Clan will be happy to set up for this. You can see that Singularity are spawning out, but ultimately you have to look towards that P5. It really can be a bit of a money hill, we call it, where you pick up nearly every single point. If you can rotate early in the setup, it's very hard to break. So this one is definitely not done until it is done. At this moment in time, though, Kings Clan very much in the lead. It's about a 40-second deficit already for Singularity to come back from, who seem a little bit shell-shocked. It has to be said, they were frying when it came to map number 1, but since then, it has been pretty poor from them. Slayer should be dead here, as well as Via puts that Molotov in and sticks him in a corner. This moment in time, though, it is just about contested, but we're looking towards this move over towards blue. Who's the first ones there? It's Kings Clan once again, and if they can keep this up, they should be good for the win. It should be good for another go at COD Clan in the grand finals. Let's see if they can get it. It's Kings Clan looking good here towards blue. The rotation towards P3 was solid, as it was in P2. Looking so good for Kings Clan here, Bobby.
The thing about Crash on Hardpoint is that P3 can very well be a complete turning point for either team, regardless of what the score is off the start. If we see a team take control of that Hardpoint, not only do they get the points there, but they're also able to set up really well for P4, which is nearly impossible to break, especially with well-established map position. And if they're able to play that well, they could very well get a break onto P5, especially if they catch the opposing team slipping up a little bit. So we do have a contest right here. Ice Block is going to drop. It does look like we will have Kings Clan back on the point with position secured, spawn secured, and rotating over toward P4. It's not looking good at all for Singularity. This is do or die for them. They need to get something to happen if they're going to have a shot at moving on in this tournament.
Well, the fact that they get that last bit of a little scrap there as well is going to prevent Kings Clan from winning here. If they'd picked up that final 20 seconds at blue, Kings Clan would have been within touching distance, but that is going to prevent that. So for Singularity, it's not the end of the world. We can see Miney inside there, though. It's going to be completely wasted. The Annihilator shot from downtown from Nox. That's a massive, massive kill as well. War Machine now not available for Miney, who's having a little bit of a slow game by his standards, as is Slayer. And now Nox inside the hill. He's broke it pretty much on his own. The rest of his team there supporting whilst the Annihilator is out, and they have broken back. They can now still just about win. I think they may just have the tick that they need to get to win it on this hill. So if you're Singularity, you just need to get a touch for a second to contest this one and hopefully get a clean rotation over as well. Look at all these kills though. Which way are we going in the direction of? It looks as if they are starting to come in the direction of Singularity. That's a very, very good war machine. Can he find anything else here? Head for Death, it's well broken. It's very well broken. 20 seconds to go here. They could hit 50 points, but they have to look towards that rotation. I think if you head for Death here, you don't even stick around for this scrap. You need to help your team get over towards that 5th point.
Yeah, I was just about to say Head for Death cannot afford to stay there very long. P5 is one of the toughest hard points to break, especially with well-established position. We do have 4 or 5 players on site right now for Kings Clan, and it's an absolute must break. They only need 23 seconds in order to close this one out, and with Angel up top of those stairs with an Annihilator in play, it's going to be a really tough break. We do have Slayer pushing in. Angel's able to pick up the initial shot onto S3M, but Miney with the beautiful push right there, he may very well have the break. They're on the hard point. It looks like nobody is in the surrounding area for Kings Clan, and this is actually a huge break going in for Singularity.
This feels like a carbon copy of the game that we've seen between these two on Crash in the winners quarterfinals. I think it was one of the first games we've seen. It was a phenomenal performance and a phenomenal comeback by Team Singularity. Last time round, they had that one locked down and they locked the full 60 seconds. This time, they break it, and that's through an Annihilator as well. If you're Kings Clan, you've wasted a lot to try and end it here. But Singularity now with 10 seconds to go on this hill. They don't need 2 of them there. I don't think Kings Clan are going to make this push now. If you're Singularity, you get moving, and we know that streaks are going to start coming into this one. SEM, though, is going to find 3 there. Good player by him. Inferno goes down. Head for Death finds a kill as well. And who's going to have control of top 3 story? That's what you need to look towards. That's where everybody's wanting to go to. It is going to be Kings Clan, but crucially, in charge of the hard point is Team Singularity. If they can get behind the barrels and get covered up, they're in a good spot to pick up some good time here. Angel on the overlook, putting shots into Miney, who's just trying his best to survive, but he has company here as well. His team are here with him as well, and this is Singularity's to potentially lose here. They've got a good lock. They now have control of 3 story as well. Singularity are in a hellishly good spot to win this game.
The thing that's happening right here is, even though they were at such a big point disadvantage, what Singularity did by not only breaking that 4th hard point, but the 5th hard point as well, is they almost hit the reset button on this game, which has allowed them to take control of this hard point. They are going to need to get back on with a contest. Otherwise, Veer will be able to clutch this one out for the rest of time, and they got to do it quickly. They've only got 8 seconds to work with. They contested for a second. S3M hops back on. I think that will be long enough to contest. They're set up in 3 story, and Singularity may be able to turn this one around.
Singularity, are you in the hill? That's the question. We can see they're all pushing through here as well. Throw everything in the kitchen sink at this one if you're Team Singularity. XZ finds 2. With the shotgun inside of 3rd story. He's going to make the push down low. Icebox already pre-firing. Inferno, which way is he going to go? Has to make the push through. Miney's going to find the kill on him, though. But it's only Veer here for Kings Clan. Singularity are coming screaming back into this game. Here comes the Annihilator from Slayer. What can he do with it? Absolutely nothing. He's been peppered up left, right, and center. This kill's coming in from the middle of the map, but it is going to be Singularity in control of the hard point. Head for Death goes down. It's an absolute chaos fest in the middle of the hard point. Just throw bodies in there and see what sticks. Team Singularity are the ones staying alive. Are Kings Clan going to be able to break? They are not, and once again, Singularity come back screaming on Crash Hardpoint. 150 to 145. What a series we have got here in this losers bracket final. Holy hell. Singularity just don't give up. They do not give up.
I literally
don't
have
understand.
goosebumps right now. I literally have goosebumps.
I am a very confused man. That has happened twice on that same map between the same teams with a ridiculous comeback. Team Singularity have absolute ice in their veins when it comes to that map. Apparently one of their main tactics is to not play the first half and then dominate the second half, because that was ridiculous. For 3 or even 4 consecutive hills, they were under the gun of being able to lose the game if they weren't able to break or hold the hill. They managed to get it time and time again. The break going in, I think it was P4, was ridiculous. Then somehow they also hit the rotation, which I don't understand how you can do when you leave 2 players back at the old hill. Tyne, I think you called that one out as well. Normally when you're in that scenario, you have to just get rid of the scrap time and push. They ignored it. They ignored everything you normally would do in that scenario and still slayed so hard they were able to come back into it. Bobby, That was ridiculous. Is there any way you can break it down for us?
I mean, ultimately, it came down to what I said could very well happen going into P3. That's what sets you up for P4 and P5. Even though there were pretty good lockdowns coming out of Kings Clan on both P4 and P5, we had really good breaks coming in for Singularity at clutch times when it was just in time to prevent Kings Clan from getting max time on the hill. By some miracle, they were able to get a break onto an Annihilator-controlled P5, which is one of the most difficult to break into the game. They could not have played that any better. Huge plays coming in, especially for Miney. There were so many different points where he and Head for Death had really big clutch kills that did allow them to come back and win that game.